to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show with Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show with Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Live on.
Yes, hello people. Very good evening to you. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching us from. This is the Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Of course, I already see Baba G, my personal person. Yes, please, if you are joining us on this program, share the broadcast. Let's get some numbers together. Of course, this segment of the program is the Comrade and Friends. And of course, as usual, you know, this has become our Sunday tonic. And of course, I have in the house the musketeers, I call them, the Comrade and the Friends. Of course, we for the purpose of this program, this is the last Sunday of the year 2020. We want to take a holistic look at the year in review, some retrospective look at how 2020 has been. People have different impressions, different takeaway from 2020. And so the friends of the Comrade will be looking at 2020 and of course probably making some projections into how 2021 is going to look like. So it's going to be a free-flowing program. Just follow us the way we'll do the run. You know, we're going to, as far as in Nigeria now, we're going to do them, knock on the go small. And as it were, in fact, I already see Ambassador Gladys Williams. God bless you, my sister. Thanks for your support. Lizzie Ino, thank you so much. Otoide Sonny Odogu, thank you. Gladys Williams, that's our popular sister Stillers. She's right with us here. Edobo Wilfred, I salute you. May God bless you. Please, if you are joining us, the Comrade and Friends, please share this broadcast. Let it go around. Let's get some numbers together. Of course, we are all part of this process, as it were. Henry, God bless you. I love that. And Merry Christmas to you. Very Merry Christmas to everybody is what I, you know, from us to you guys. Ebu, I see you. Lisa Osabi, God bless you. Doreen Amanta. Doreen, how are you? I'm still waiting for you, Brett Eagle. Brett, are you still in this local government? Merry Christmas to you. Yes, so Gladys, I hail you from my end, oh. I hail you plenty. Yes, so Sonny, come on. God bless you, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. Yes, lovely. Igmino Dua. Yes, so Usaloba Malegmina. Yes, I love that name. Look, Merry Christmas to you all. I know we are having a very good time this Christmas season. It's a peculiar one in 2020, you know, because of all that had happened. And those are part of the things that we like to look at, you know, in the course of this, you know, program, as it were. 2020 has been a very peculiar year. But let's thank God. Of course, I already see Bakari Henry, my brother, my friend, all the way from Italy. Yes, so God bless you, my friend. Raphael Ojo, God bless you. Sonny Kizo, God bless you, my man. Yes, so Imade Omorodion, Merry Christmas to you. Gospel Osas, very Merry Christmas to you guys and a prosperous new year ahead. We are hoping and praying that 2021 will be a better year for this world, particularly for Edo people. We are hoping that 2021 will be a better year, but we are going to review this year. Look at some of the high points of this year. You know, some of those things that actually, you know, made so much headlines. So much headlines. Agawa Gibon Mebe, God bless you, God bless you. Radical Vani, I love you, my friend. Yes, so love to all Edolites. Thank you so much. Edolites worldwide. Ebuwa Imasue, Ebuwa Wegelehin, Usabu Adebawe. Evelyn Olotu, my personal person, Ketale Stars. Muy buenas tardes. God bless you, my friend. I see you. Otas, Osage, Uwese Otenio, Usabu Adebawe, Selugbe. Yes, so Ebuwa Imasue, Much love, my sister. Much love. Osabu Adebawe. Lisa B. Osas. Do you know? I'll share this story. When my wife is called Maureen, and I love the name Ebua so much. When I met my wife, many years ago, 15 years ago or thereabout, if I'm not mistaken. I just as a friend, I was, I want her to have, a native name that I like. Ebua. Ebua, I'll show you my wife. Ebua just became, I was calling her Ebua. Why, everybody calls her Maureen. Before you know what is happening, my family, everybody started calling her Ebua. As we speak, my mom addresses my wife as Ebua. Actually, it was to show how much I love the name, yes, Evelyn Oloto, God bless you. I see you, Felicia Boegbe, God bless you. Kate, God bless you. Kate Egwe, yes. Hope, Alohan, Otami, Usabu Adebawa, much love from my end. Now we're going to hit the program running. Of course, I'm going to introduce the Musketeers, I call them. I have Dr. Osakmawa Agbons. In fact, I hear tired do where Osakmawa Novi Agbons no ye Tony Riovan is here in the house. Osakmawa say hello to the people.
Well, what's up, my people? Happy last Sunday of the year 2020 to everybody. Good to be back on our program again today. We're here celebrating. I hope we all had a great Christmas. I wish everyone a happy New Year 2021. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Yes, that is the Musketeer. This is the Comrade of Friends. But the guys I'm working with here, the regular guys you see here, I call them the Musketeers. Yes, they make things happen. I tell you the truth. If you have somebody like Agbons, and of course the next person I'm going to call, you all already know, if you have these two people as friends, your life is made. And that is why I'm so confident. Of course, I see you, Kingsley Eboigbe. God bless you so much. Of course, the next Musketeer I have on board is my personal person, a light angel. In fact, they are both light angels. A wonderful personality. This one is my brother, my friend, pharmacist, Austin Iremiran. Oma ATA. Say hello to the people, my brother. Austin Iremiran, my personal person.
Hello, my people. Happy Christmas in arrears now, and Happy New Year in advance. Also, we enjoy our chicken and stew and everything, and we deal with our family. God bless you now for joining us all these past months. Look forward to a very great year 2021. Thank you so much, my people.
Okay, thank you very much, Austin. But just before we start, Austin, you probably may want to turn down the other device so that the echo is not going to be disturbing your own side too much. So, my people, I'm going to hand over the button right now, to of course, Dr. Tony Agbons, so that he takes us from here. Dr. Tony, please lead us through some of the things we're having today, and of course, lead the conversation.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I'm very happy with this change of government today, so I don't take over the local government, as you always say. So, my people, like you can see from our drop, we are looking at the year 2020 in retrospect. Like we always say, those of us who are beneath, and where say, or now we're over here. So translated, that means he who gives thanks is creating room for more to be done for him or her. So we are looking at a couple of things today. This year has been quite a difficult year for everyone. So we're going to be looking at some of the things that made headlines in this year that is ending in about 4 days' time. So, Austin, I'm going to start with you. We started this year about 12 months ago. What were some of the hopes and aspirations we had for this year when we started?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Lamte, is this still echoing?
Not much. Go ahead, sir. I think we are good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry about the slight disturbance from my end. Thank you so much, Tony. It's been a very funny, wonderful, difficult 2020. When we were in December 2019, we were full of hope of what 2020 would offer. First and foremost, I would say thank God we are where we are. Today is the 27th of December of the new year 2021. A lot has happened. There's so much we can talk about. One of the highlights of the year was what started from 2019 that robbed up to 2020 and is still ravaging up. That's the pandemic, COVID-19, starting all the way from China, and we are still with it today. Only a few weeks ago, there was another massive lockdown. In the UK at the moment, there's total lockdown, and you hardly cannot visit anybody this period. So that has been one that enabled us from January to where we are now. And then we are hoping that in the new year, there will be some ray of hope in sight with the vaccines in place, and people are adhering to the protocols on how to keep us safe. Of course, one will not forget the intrigues of our Nigeria, APC and the APC leadership and government, which led to the subsequent removal of the chairman of the APC. I'm talking of SY Governor of Edo State, Oshomole. And of course, we had the Edo State election, which was part of that process as well. And now Edo State turned the corner and made Nigeria a great place and made politics interesting once more. Amidst all odds and difficulties, the governor came, saw, conquered, and it was elected victorious. We had the Ondo State election as well, and the issues that followed that. And then we continued. I think ASU went on strike about a year or 5 months. And we are still in that as well. Then, of course, we had the NSAS issue that shook the very fabric of Nigeria. And I think that has sent a serious warning to Nigerian government. It was largely successful before it was hijacked. And then we had the issue of a Nigerian.
Yeah, Pharmacist Austin. Sorry to interject. I just want you to speak specifically on the hopes and aspirations we had at the beginning of this year, 2020, so that we take these items one after the other.
Oh, sorry, because my internet was blowing up. I didn't quite get that. Well, I would say we had lots of hopes and aspirations for the new year, for the year 2020, and as it unfolds, different things begin to happen. But going forward for 2021, I'm full of hope and confidence, and I know that something great will happen in 2021. I want to expect and see the end of this issue of the pandemic, so that life again will return to normal, and we'll begin to do things as usual.
Comrade Lamte, I just want us to take this discussion as highlighted one after the other. What were our hopes and aspirations going into this year that is ending in 4 days' time? Retrospect.
Dr. Agmons, I mean, the way 2019 ended, we were hopeful that 2020 was going to be a better year. One of the major highlights of 2019, that climaxed 2019 was, the political imbroglio in Edo State. We already started seeing the division between the former governor of Edo State, who is the godfather of the current governor of Edo State, who was at the time the godfather of the current governor of Edo State. So we already started seeing the crack, and we knew that 2020 was going to be, an interesting year, within the political space. And of course, we know that 2020 was going to be an election year, and so a lot of things were already playing out. Rumors were ongoing that the likes of Eze Yamu, they were going to move to, what's it called, APC, and also so much was already going, cooking at the time. For the national level, the expectation was still high. Nigerians were still hopeful that the innate leadership we have at the national level will probably get her acts together, as it were, talking about 2020, probably to give Nigeria, better governance, as it were, Nigerians forgiving them for what the previous 4 years had been. And so there was a hope that maybe 2020 will set a different pace. It was a cautious optimism that everybody was, looking to. Then, of course, individuals had different kind of, different, hopes and aspirations. Thought 2020 was going to be fulfilling in very many respects, but from the very word go, 2020 began with a bang into negativity, which I'm talking of COVID-19. It started in December. We started getting feelers of COVID-19 in December. By January, it has taken a different dimension. As a matter of fact, before the end of January, lockdown has started. So January, laid a very different, projection for 2020. And so from then on, COVID-19 became very determinant, of what 2020 was going to be like. So in every aspect of 2020, COVID-19 played a role in determining every aspect of it. And all of that. The Edo elections, the way it was managed, the way it was done, even the primaries and everything, to the point where, the Edo State government had to gazette that, public gatherings, particularly political public gatherings, particularly talking about the primaries, had to be somewhat, indirect and stuff like that, and so talking of looking into 2020, we were hopeful and positive that 2020 was going to be good. But if we stand here now, 4 days to the end of this year, and we look back at where we are coming from, talking about 2020, definitely we would say that 2020 did not quite go the way it was anticipated in very many respects. But one thing actually went the way some of us had anticipated, and that was the election of the governor of Edo State. Governor Baseki was re-elected. Many of us hoped for that. We anticipated that, and that became a reality. However, so many other things, did not quite, work out the way we anticipated. I think that would be my take on that.
Thank you very much, Comrade, and thank you, Pharmacist Austin, before that, for your articulations on hopes and aspirations for this year, 2020. I think for me, the year, like every other human being, I was very optimistic about this year for Nigeria, for Edo State, and for the world. But like both of you have said, Austin and Comrade, this is a year that some people have tagged it the COVID-19 year. So we are grateful to God. We are still alive. We commiserate with people who have lost family and friends through this year. It's our prayer that the Almighty God will comfort every one of us. Now, Pharmacist Austin, I'm coming back to you. Looking at, for us as people from Edo State, there's no way we go through this year without mentioning the Edo elections. What are some of the lessons from the Edo 2020 elections going forward? What did we learn? Pharmacist Austin, can you hear us?
Can you hear you very well? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. I think there is so much to learn depending on which angle you are looking at it from, politically and from the side of the government and for everywhere. There's been a big lesson. First and foremost, I would say that a resolve of wanting to do things for the people played a very important role. So for government, if you stand with and by the people and you deliver on what the people want, they will begin to see visible evidence and they would give you that support. So that was one thing that the present governor did in his first term that got the love and the respect and the followership that many Edos gave to him. They were not dissuaded or carried away with that. So I would say good governance is very key, was very important. It's a big lesson both to the government and politically in terms of the party, always are willing to work together for the common good and progress of the state is very important. We saw that in how APC was in total problems, not having a direction, and the willingness to forge ahead was not there, which eventually led to the breakdown of total leadership and law and order in the APC and eventual removal of Adams Oshomole. So in terms of party politics, one of the big lessons is that everybody should all work together and be on and in the same page, and that citizens' respect should really be followed and be adhered to at every time. It also reminds anybody in power to always be conscious that you are there in office and to do what is important and what is right for the people, and the people too also follow you. I must also say that the resolve within the state, in diaspora and everywhere, coming together to say we want to set a mark was also a very big lesson for us. So in all, it was really very good. It was a good year. So many lessons have been learned, and hopefully the government in place now would implement those ones, and always remember that the people and only the people really matters.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Austin. Yes, you have hammered on good governance and the happiness of the majority of the people and not just a few. So, Comrade Lante, what are some of the high points for you as far as the Edo election was concerned that happened this year? What lessons could you draw?
Yeah, first, I think for the first time probably in the history of Nigerian politics, Edo people demonstrated that the voice of the people matter. You know, if you look back, our political antecedent is such that tell us that the role of godfatherism, was such that we all came to the resignation, to fate, so to speak. You don't say, well, if the godfathers decide, that's what happens. And so in this case, we saw, a deliberate decision by the godfathers to say this is what we want, which was actually against the will of the people. And before then, what they want is what actually holds sway. So for the first time in the history of Nigerian politics, not just Edo State, the people resolved and said, we the people want to determine who govern us, not a few persons like the Oshomoles and all of that, So, and that resolve, came to pass, came to fruition. not because the system actually wanted that result to come to pass, as it were, but because the people resolved and said, this is what we want. Now, apart from just deciding on what they wanted, the people actually worked for what they wanted and held their ground to defend what they wanted. And so, for us, for me, I think it was a huge point, an exemplary one at that, and one that set a very strong tone, okay, for the future of our electoral process, you know. And I, for one, am someone who believes very strongly that if we are able to get our electoral system right, and the will of the people continue to count, okay, and that people no longer just depend on the idea that, oh, I know Shumole, you know, I'm his boy, or I know this, I'm his boy, so therefore I must be the person in office, okay, then power truly will be belonging to the people. And so, and that is the era right now that by the grace of God, all of us, you know, we are building in that era where the voice of the people will be the voice that matter. So for me, that was the highest point. You know, that will, that decision that the people made, stood by it, made sure that it came to pass, and it actually did come to pass. That for me was a very great takeaway from everything.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Lamte, for your analysis. Very apt. To be honest, for most Edo sons and daughters, even for people who are not from Edo State, the Edo election has become a watershed. It has become a reference point in the annals of the democratic evolution of Nigeria. Like both Austin and yourself have said, Comrade, the people's voice sounded loud and the people's voice was heard. Like you said, not because the establishment wanted it, but because nothing stops an idea whose time has come. The Edo people, both at home and abroad, stood with one voice. They united, and then their wish came to pass. The Edo people, we didn't sit on the fence to say, it not concern me. Politics is a dirty game. We all stood, and our voice was heard. Recently, I was discussing with a friend. He's a sociologist, and he said something, and I wrote on my diary like I always do, because I've never heard that word before. He said that the late African sage and Ghanaian president Kwame Nkrumah did say in one of his speeches that seek ye first the political kingdom, and every other thing shall be added. That was, it was powerful.
That's a powerful one.
Powerful one from I've never had it. So, and what the Edo people have done is that we sought first the political kingdom.
Yes.
And every other thing indeed will be added.
Yes.
So kudos to all Edolites, both at home and in diaspora. Kudos to other Nigerians. Because there were a lot of people who were not from Edo State that supported the song that Edolites raised. And they joined in verse 2, verse 3, and then the wish of the people stood, despite the negative effort of godfathers. Now we move to another subject.
No, but before we move to another subject, if you don't mind, sir, suffice to state that for Edo State, you know, I think the election of the governor of Edo State was a major high point. But we cannot take away, okay, another, you know, very important, you know, point of 2020, which had to do with the End SARS protests. Okay, sir. All right. Okay. Go ahead, sir. Let me allow you.
That's the item number 4 on my agenda.
Yes.
I was just going to, you know, use the Edo election to situate the End SARS protest.
Yes.
You know, the Edo election happened. It was September 19th.
Yes.
And not just about a few weeks after the Edo election, that was when, in October, the End SARS protest began, which was actually a hashtag on Twitter because of what happened in Uheli in Delta State. So, NSAS protest, Austin. Comrade, I'll come back to you. Austin.
Okay.
It was a major high point of the year.
Thank you, Tony. Absolutely, it was. And I must say that even though we know it started so well, and at some point we presume and we think it was hijacked by the power that be, I think they made their mark, they sent the right signal, and they sent a shocking wave through to the entire leadership of Nigeria. Let me say, yeah, without having the facts, I am sure that if this government continues, there might just be another NSAS brewing, because that seems to be that might be just the only kind of language that this government aimed at causing mayhem and problem to our country understand. Commend the organizers. I want to commend their resoluteness. I want to commend their determination in wanting to make our country great. At least for the first time in many years, the youth came together to speak in one voice. So my brother Tony, in all ramifications, we know everything in history now. I think it was the right step in the right direction. I hope and pray that in subsequent protests that will come of that nature, hoodlums will not hijack it. My only regret is just the way people turned that very good process to something else. A case study is what happened in Edo State, which led to the eventual opening of the prisons. And according to one of my friends I was speaking to, that's one of the reasons today why we are still having serious and massive insecurity, because a large number of inmates dying wood robbers have been let loose, and only just 20% have been taken back to jail. But by and large, it was a watershed. It was good. The execution, those that executed it, we have to really commend them. And then it's not our wish that we have, but if that is what where we are, then I totally subscribe to that. But I must say, Tony, it's leadership noble, and they would not want to be taken for granted any further.
For your good capture of the NSAS protest. Now, Comrade Lamte,
Yes, sir.
you were already on this issue, so if you can articulate, sir.
Look, my own take is I actually think, you know, that the NSAS protest was another high point of 2020 for Nigeria. A high point in that for probably, you know, the first time in very many years that Nigerians, you know, came to realize that they had the power to do a lot of things. The consciousness came and all that. And I want to take it from the point, you know, that Austin was, you know, making, that there might be, you know, another NSAS process. To be very honest with you, I don't think it should be might be. We are right now overdue for another NSAS protest. Overdue. Nigerians right now, you know, I'm not inciting. Nigerians right now should be waking up to the reality of another NSAS protest. Because if things like that don't happen, we cannot take this country back. And I'll tell you something. Today, I was almost forced to come online earlier today. You know, I've been waking up to the news that about 13 hours ago or so, the National Assembly, the House of Reps, okay, apologized to the president for inviting him to come and tell Nigerians why we are having very serious, deplorable security situation in Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying now? So when you look at it, Nigeria right now, not just right now, Nigeria is a joke. It's a joke. And there is no way like this kind of lackluster attitude, this lukewarm attitude will help to resolve the country. So with the NSAS protest, we came close to achieving a very strong aim. So, but with the NSAS protest, Nigerian youth were baptized into the ideology that if we come together, you know, with all sincerity of purpose to make certain demands, the country will yield. Okay, the country will yield. I want to show you people something. I mean, I'm just led to doing this. Please allow me, Dr. Agbons and Austin. You see this envelope here? If you can read close, this envelope is addressed to me from the House of Commons. That is Mr. Lante Oriahi. I'll show you where it's coming from. The House of Commons. I'm talking of the British Parliament. This is the letter that came with it. I'm not discussing this one with you guys, you know, privately. This is a letter that came with it from the Parliament of the UK, addressed to Comrade Lante Oriahi. Now, what I'm going to tell you about this document will surprise you. I led, as the president of Nigerian community, you know, in northeast of England, I led a protest as part of the NSAS protest in Newcastle. In that protest, we wrote a letter signed by myself and my secretary through the member of parliament, the MP of Newcastle, to Westminster, to Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of UK, and to the House of Commons, demanding amongst many other things that Nigerian government should be called to order, demanding that certain, I don't want to mention their names, certain names, Nigerians, political figures behind the atrocities of the NSAS, okay, their visa should be looked into and reviewed and barred from coming to the UK, demanding that the UK government should liaise with other European governments to ensure that Nigeria should no longer be a safe haven for any Nigerian politician to come here for medical tourism or what have you. They should stay at home and fix our medical infrastructures. Demanding, amongst others, that the Nigerian government should reveal those or mask those behind the killings that took place at this toll gate there. What's his name? Remind me, please. I'm losing it. The Lagos toll gate, the senseless shooting of innocent protesters. We made all those demands. Our presentation was discussed at the level of the British Parliament. This is the proceedings. Okay, the letter the House of Commons sent to me, this letter was to inform me that they received my letter, our letter, through the member of parliament of representing Newcastle, and that they have discussed the content, you know, of the letter we sent to them, and these are the proceedings, and the matter is still ongoing. They are doing some investigations and all of that, and they want to, you know, heed to our demands. Now, when I received this letter, this particular letter, the notes and everything, the proceedings, I was honestly like, is it possible? Can this be possible? Why did I say that? As somebody who lives in the UK, I am just like an ordinary, you know, citizen, if you may, you know, an ordinary person. I'm even a foreigner. We moved, okay? We demanded that this government of the United Kingdom listen to us because of what is happening in our country. The letter we wrote was debated. They discussed it. They wrote back to me as the president of the Nigerian community in the northeast of England and say, we have heard you, we are listening to you, we are looking into your matter. As a matter of fact, when this thing is finally concluded, the Nigerian government may be sanctioned in very many respects because of NSAS protest. And yet, in our own country, where our people moved to demand changes, they were killed, they were slaughtered, they were hoodwinked, they were lied against, they were distracted, they were subjugated. Even when CNN made a documentary concerning that matter, they refuted with glaring lies and everything. So when you look at it, we have a system that is unrepentant, a system that is oppressive, that is suppressive. So my brother Austin Iremira, the question is not there might be, there should be another NSAS demanding seriously an end to all this nonsense, because many of us cannot fathom, we cannot understand why the National Assembly, the House of Reps, will invite the president to come and present to Nigerians. Why are we having deplorable security situation in Nigeria? 43 farmers were killed. In Borno State, they don't report anymore. Nigerians are dying. Certain parts of the country right now have been seen to homegrown terrorists because of what is happening with Misheti Allah, with what's going on, the herdsmen. Nigeria, there is nobody legalized to carry weapon. But in Nigeria, the herdsmen carry AK-47. Nobody questions them. They parole around every aspect of every part of the country. And yet they outlaw guns for other parts of this country. The inequality level is too high. We look at the issue of restructuring. The inequality level. We produce oil from the south. Nigerian government sits on the oil from the south as a Nigerian wealth. They produce gold in Zamfara, but it is the Zamfara gold. It is not Nigerian gold. To be said that CBN will be paying Zamfara 5 billion naira to buy gold from Zamfara. And we are saying the country should be restructured. Let us review our marriage. And so if the SASA governors have demanded, asking the president to demanding for a restructuring, till today, they have not been responded to. Now, House of Reps moved a motion calling for the president to come and tell Nigerians what is happening. Before you know what is happening, they told the matter against the House of Reps members, the people behind that particular motion. So this, even the Senate leadership recluse themselves from that court to say that the House of the National Assembly they has no right to invite the president. Now, today, the House of Reps have been pressured, pushed, hoodwinked. They have not apologized to Buhari, making us now have the feeling that Buhari is bigger than Nigeria. This is the same Buhari many are arguing right now is not even a Nigerian. He's partly Nigerian. I can independently authenticate that, but people are already saying that Buhari's father is from the Niger Republic, which means that this man is not supposed to be even president of Nigeria. That aside, you look at the constitution of Nigeria. The constitution of Nigeria that gives so much space to Islamic religion, and yet no single mention of Christianity. This space for everything. Today, if people are not aware, at the National Assembly, there is a motion ongoing asking INEC, to enter into the Electoral Act to allow underage girls who are married by Muslim, by the Northerners, allowing them to vote because they are married underage girls. And that is in direct contravention of certain clauses, certain sections of the Constitution of Nigeria. But they are willing to ensure that so I think if you look at it, Nigeria is a joke. Nigeria is not working, is not operating on equal basis. So therefore, a peaceful change becomes a problem. Then setting other approach to change becomes inevitable, and NSAS is one of those approaches that can become inevitable. So therefore, we might not have another NSAS. We must and we should have another NSAS to correct all these merits. Some of us may die in the process, but freedom will always come. It does not come free. It does not come easy. It comes by struggle. And so there should be Commerce show should not take responsibility for this. I am taking responsibility for the statement I'm making. There should and must be another NSAS because the equation in Nigeria right now is unacceptable. Sorry, my brother, I'm taking some time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Lamte, for what all you have said. I can see the passion and the emotion, which is correctly so, in view of all that is happening in Nigeria. I'm just hearing about this apology that the House of Rep has made. Like you said, probably there must have pressure to do it under duress, but it is definitely not a step in the right direction. You have mentioned the issue of restructuring of the country. The South governors have come together under one voice in the meeting they had with the presidency in Port Harcourt recently to demand that. But as we speak, we are yet to we haven't had any feedback from the presidency. There was no deadline that was given, so things are just lying low, as it were, at the moment. Now, Pharmacist Austin, we're talking about the restructuring of Nigeria, which has been very, very highly sounded this year, 2020, along with the NSAS and bad government protests that may still come again. How do you think we can achieve this goal of restructuring Nigeria alongside what is happening in the southeast of Nigeria, where they don't seem to be singing the song of restructuring Nigeria, but they are talking of succeeding from the union that called Nigeria. Austin, what do you have to say to this? Don't you think it would have been better that the entire South, come on together and champion the restructuring, political restructuring of the country, rather than talking of secession? Is that not another blow to the whole restructuring project?
Thank you so much, my brother Tony. I will tell you, with the last comment of Comrade Lampton, I'm really, really sad. I never heard this. I'm just hearing it for the very first time, that House of Rep have to send an apology to the president. This is a big blow to our democracy. I was thinking and I hope that the only hope that will lead us out of this present problem was the legislation. I am surprised. I want to believe it's a dream or a mistake. That is not the right step to take. It is frustrating. Then to go back to your question, on this program and in the lips of many Nigerians and even in private discussions, restructuring has been a word that has been talked about. And the benefit of restructuring is everywhere for us to see. Everything about bad governance, poor infrastructure, no development, all stems from us not having the right structure. So restructuring is very key. You've asked me a very important question about the Southeast calling for secession. While I'm not here to totally admonish them, Tony, I must say, it is the ineptitude of subsequent of governments before now, and indeed this present government, that has given rise to different comments being made. Anybody wanting to succeed from Nigeria, I don't really blame that person. The only problem now is, how will it come about? So I think it will make more sense for all of us to come together to talk about restructuring of our country. Because trying to live at the moment might be a bit cumbersome and difficult to achieve. So for me, it should be a second pillar effort now should be towards talking of how do we redefine our marriage. What are the things that we need to do together? Only when that is not possible that we can then think it will go. So Our brothers from the southeast are not of sorry. We need to really come together to discuss, to look at our differences and see what we've done wrong. How do we rearrange so that everybody come to the table with some degree of equalness, with some degree of fairness, and with some degree of Nigerianness, so that we all be citizens and true citizens. So I would say everybody calling for division and breakdown of the country should hold fire for now. Let us armor with all that we have and sing the song of restructuring, so that Zamfara gold will be purely for Zamfara. The oil in the south will be purely for the southerners, and we all contribute to the center, or whichever mechanism we want to arrange. But we need to talk that talk, because if that talk is not done, we will not liberate Nigeria, certainly. And to answer your question simply, I think we should not talk of seceding at the moment, but we should be talking more of restructuring. So I advise my eastern brothers, my western brothers, my northern brothers to all come to the table with some degree of good mind and wanting to discuss equitable distribution of our wealth, natural resources, and what have you. That, for me, is the only way forward. If our country is not restructured, things will not get right. Things will not get right in security. They will not get right in agriculture. They will not get right in governance. They will not get right in virtually everything. So, my brother, we haven't really decided to speak on restructuring today. But on everything we say, we always hammer on that. So definitely restructuring is the way to go. And whether this government like it or not, it will happen.
Thank you very much, Austin. I think I agree with you 1000%. Looking at Nigeria, the way we have been going on, especially since the return to democratic rule in 1999 to date, we have several presidents, several legislators, several political appointees. Like it's often said, we cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result or outcome. I align with Comrade Lamte, I align with you, Austin. We need to give restructuring a go. For me, I believe that is the only way our country can develop. All the federating units, we will be able to develop at its own pace, like I've always said. Because this current pseudo octopus force unitary system we are operating is not doing us any good. I just wish and pray that we will all listen to the voice of reason, and because of for the sake of the majority of our citizens. So a lot of our people are suffering. There's poverty in the land. Nigeria, as we speak, is now the poverty capital of the world, even worse than Iran and Afghanistan, where they are having civil wars. So it is that sad. So there's insecurity. As we speak, 2 days ago, the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria in Kaduna State, in north central Nigeria, was abducted with the wife and one other person. So people being killed in Borno just during this week alone. So there's a lot of insecurity challenges all over the country. Herdsmen on the plow, they are the ones that carry AK-47 rifles, which they shouldn't do. So a lot really is not the way it should be. So we on this platform, we reiterate again, every Nigerian need to keep hammering. We need to keep the conversation going so that our country will be better for it. Comrade Lamte, before I go to the next topic, I don't know if you still have something you want to say.
You know, my brother, when it comes to Nigeria, we will always have something to say, and for many of us, we are resolved. Edo says, "Ema gbokpe ayi or mase ema biana lelaha." For somebody like myself, my brother, whatever it's going to cost, we will keep on talking. You understand? Because at the end of the day, Of course, we will go through some memorial just now, and of course, look at some colleagues who died in 2020, and so many people have died. So whether we talk, we go die. Whether we know, if we not talk, we will still die. So because Oyayasimi woman, it's essential that we make it a point of duty to always point it out. Because they themselves, let's not think that they are not getting the heat. They are getting the heat. Right now, what's it called? I mean, a lot is happening in this country. You know, and our people need to be knowing. In fact, the doom that Nigeria is getting herself into is such that where 5 generations after us may be struggling to get themselves rescued from it. I mean, about one here, another, 1.5 billion plus, okay, in debt, has been given to Nigeria again by the World Bank. You understand? Making Nigeria right now indebted to the tune of more than $100 billion. You understand me now? They are taking debts. The money, what are they doing with it? The country right now is not. In fact, the country right now is divided. Boko Haram has taken over some part. Herdsmen have taken over some part, and because of the activities of Boko Haram and herdsmen, we cannot now blame Amotekun, the West. We have no reasons now to blame Kano and all the structures that have set up the Eastern Security Network and every other thing that is going to come. Because at the end of the day, it's always been multiple standards in this country we call Nigeria. So to that extent, my brother, we will always talk, we will always have something to say. You understand? Because if this is not happening in the north, okay, of course, it will not be happening in the west, it will not be happening in the east, it will not be happening anywhere else in the country. The banditry we are talking about right now, okay, is from the north. It is exactly part of what they started, what they have cooked. You understand what I'm saying? And right now, New York Times came up with a publication and said Nigeria is almost becoming a failed state. And when they analyzed, okay, the indices of a failed state, my brother, you already know that Nigeria is a failed state already. It's already a failed state because the leadership can no longer hold, the country is no longer together. Some of those indices they explained when I read the publication, and I look and say, man, these guys are just trying to be very modest, and economical with the communication. They don't want to say that there's already a failed state. The country is failed already. It's failed. Before they take Nigeria, one Nigerian naira was equal to 20 cedis. Some of we will joke, okay, I have 1,000 naira, I don't want Ghana. Today, my brother, 1 cedi is almost 18 naira. It's almost 18 naira, 15 naira, if I'm not mistaken. 1 cedi. This was a cedi where 1 naira was equal to 20 cedis at the time. Manaka, where I will just change 2,000 naira, I go and buy a house in Ghana. Now some people just say, some of our Nigerian brothers, and they are in Ghana. They know that if they make a 100 Ghana cedi, they come to Nigeria, it becomes nearly 1,000 naira, if not more. This is where we have found ourselves. Those that looked up to us at the time, they are the ones right now who are not setting the pace for us. They are not the fact we are supposed to have provided leadership for the continent. But nobody's looking at us anymore. Because of what? Because of this kind of leadership. This kind of leadership and this kind of followership. And so therefore, if the leadership has failed us, we no longer must look at the leadership. We must now look inwards and say, what can we do to change the narrative? If this may ragmo before a bokere we have to move around, he ain't setting more. He may ask you say in a do. That is what we should do for Nigeria right now. Nigerian people, Edo people, all across, we should not see you saying for the country because man, we don't have another one. So my brother, NSAS is not a matter of might. NSAS must come, and of course, that's the truth of the matter. If you don't let us do, we leave it. I must not be a Nigerian. I must not be. It's not by force to be a Nigerian. It shouldn't be. That is why we say let us negotiate and discuss the terms of our relationship as a people. Because What we have right now is nonsense. It's nonsense. The amalgamation of Nigeria, okay, as it were, did not take into consideration what our people feel, what the people feel about it. We were forced under duress to come together as a country. So now that we are not conscious of who we are, we want to renegotiate all of that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, let us renegotiate. This is Brexit that just took place now. This is Brexit. UK right now, from on the 31st of this month, they become an independent sovereign nation of their own, independent of EU. They negotiated, and is what we have to do for Nigeria. Let's negotiate to be in, and if we cannot be in, let's negotiate to be out, so that all of us will carry our voice, come down. We will not concentrate and develop where we come from, because right now what we have right now is not working. As a Nigerian, I live in the UK. I get to some places, I'm ashamed to even say I'm a Nigerian. How can I be ashamed to say I'm a Nigerian? Why am I ashamed at some point? Because of what is happening in the country. It's shameful, my brother. A huge one. So, my brother, there should be another answers for us to start correcting things rightly. That's my take, my brother. Go ahead, sir.
Comrade Lamte, thank you for all you have said. There is definitely a need for a discussion on the union of Project Nigeria. I think for this program, this is quite a solemn moment. This year has witnessed a number of deaths. We've lost a number of friends. A lot of people have lost families. So, from the angle of the Comrade and Friends program, we want to, remember all these people. Some of them we may not be able to mention their names, but they are deep in our hearts. Those who lost their life during the NSAS protest, especially at the Lekki toll gate, we sympathize with the families. Those who got killed in the protests in other parts of Nigeria, those whose properties were destroyed, and everyone who have had losses. But for us on this show, we want to remember very fondly an alumni of the University of Benin, a very strong member of the University of Benin Alumni Association here in the UK. One of our comrades, Comrade Godwin Fossing, who has gone to be with the Lord. He departed on Christmas morning, just 3 days ago. Austin.
Tony. Hello?
Yeah, what have you to say, my brother, at this solemn moment?
I want to join you in my condolences to all who died in 2020. Still another 4 days to go. We pray and hope that we don't hear any bad news as well. Those that have died in the struggle, NSAS, those that were kidnapped and died in the hands of kidnappers as well, we remember them. All those that have died in one way or the other, death in itself is very painful. We commiserate to their family and we send our condolences. And I just want to mention also one name. I grew up loving Nollywood and watching it, and I like a number of filmmakers, producers, and directors. While we were trying to come to terms with the death of our comrade here in the UK, Comrade Forcing Godwin, we also got an information that a notable filmmaker who I grew up to love also died on the 25th of December. I'm talking of Chico Hidiro, the gentleman from Delta State, and his woman. So I commiserate with his family as well and pray that God will accept their souls into his heavenly bosom. It's been a very difficult year, so we remember them, all those who have slept in the struggle, in the course of doing their work. We pray that God will bless their family and give them the fortitude to bear this very irreparable loss. And also, too, to remember many people who have died with the pandemic. They died as a result of COVID. Most of them were COVID related in Nigeria. We know loads and loads of their names. May their soul be accepted into heaven, and may they continue to rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
Moment, what is your take, sir?
Yo, my brother, I'm not going to say anything different from what you and Austin already said. One thing, there's a point where Oma is a veer. After so much tears, we set in veer. You understand? Because at the end of the day, for all of us who are privileged to be alive, I think the message is, let us do what we can, at least. There should be something that we are going to be remembered for. We should be remembered for, some contribution that we have made ourselves. Because at the end of the day, every day that breaks brings everyone closer to this same kind of news, and that is the truth. And so, while it's a solemn, this is quite solemn. While we of course commiserate with the family and condole the family, as it were, the families of the people who have lost loved ones. Some are friends, very good friends of ours. Some have made names in various industry, and all of that they've been part of, in all walks of life and all of that. We have come to see that this call is an inevitable one. Whenever it happens, nobody knows. Nobody knows whenever it's going to happen. When it happens, what we do as humans is to cry, but we must not forget one thing, that nobody knows when it's going to happen, and it's going to happen to everybody who's alive today, and that's the truth of the matter. So I think that the best way to remember some of the people that we know, is to support the families they left behind, particularly those with children, those who are leaving wives and husbands behind, is to rally around those families and not leave them, because we often see situations where people just die and they leave loved ones, particularly immediate families, children, wives, or husbands, as it were, and immediately after the burial they are abandoned. You understand what I'm saying? Those children, some of whom are young children, begin to just face very serious brunt and vicissitudes of life. But if we know some of these people and we can provide some succor, God will definitely reward us by His grace. So I really would think that one of the best ways of actually remembering the people who have lost their lives, for those who are close to them, is to see how we can impart the people they left behind. And again, for us generally, let us look at what we can do, okay, for the society we come from. Something that somebody will mention our names and they remember, oh, this guy he did this. Today, we talk about Chukwu Ejiro. Chukwu Ejiro is one of the most prolific movie directors in Nigeria. Okay, when you mention Chukwu Ejiro, you remember Nollywood, because these were people, was part of those that actually gave us this Nollywood, as it were. His contribution immense and all that. So what we can remember him for is all he did, brought minds to millions of homes with his art and all that. That's happened. I pray that I pray for the family, the wife, and of course the children. I hope that they're able to find succor, and I hope that people should truly be, particularly those who were friends, of Chukwu Ejiro, should truly be able to be friends, even when this has happened to the family. I know that the family will need support. Talking of forcing, I just wish the family the same, that friends can actually still rally around the loved ones and of course console them and all of that, because at the end of the day, who knows what tomorrow is going to give birth to. This is the least that we can do. And so the same thing, I mentioned these names because I know these names, you understand. There are so many others, millions of others, okay, that we are not even close to, but there are people who are close to them. So I think that if we're able to cover those gaps. You understand what I'm saying? And with what we can do, I'm sure that life itself, even though it is transient, it might still be worthwhile, even as it is. So that'll be my take, my brother.
Getting the news of forcing somebody I talk to all the time as well myself. I was writing in a platform yesterday, and I said what matters in life is the value we share with family and friends when we are alive. Life is a struggle, and like the wise man said in the holy book, all is vanity, vanity upon vanity. So the whole duty of man is to fear God and keep his commandments. As our prayer that the Almighty God will grant the families of all the faithful departed the fortitude to bear this loss. And like you have said, or those of us who are close to those families of those who have lost, we need to throw our support in any way we can. Life is not all about financial support, moral support, emotional support in all its ramifications. And when we do this, we'll also be leaving our footprint in the sand of time.
Absolutely.
God will grant them eternal rest.
Amen.
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 So as we round up today's program, I just want to take your beat on the year 2021. Austin, what are some of the looking ahead for you with your prophetic lens? I know that you are not primate. That primate are always Ayodele. So, but what do you with your pharmaceutical pharmacognostic prophetic lens?
All right, thank you so much, Tony. Well, sometimes your desire, your dreams, your good wishes can become a bit prophetic. So on that note, I'm praying and hoping that 2021 would see at least the end of this pandemic with the release of vaccines. Hopefully, things will be better at least by the middle of next year, so that our lives again can return to normal.
No, Austin, sorry. I'm sorry to interject. I really wanted to talk about this because we need to make this platform equally correct some impressions, rightly or wrongly, as it were. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy about this vaccine. As a matter of fact, there's a video making the round of one lady who came out to say she had the vaccine. After 3 days, her face became funny. She was warning people. She says she's a healthcare worker from the US, I think, and that this vaccine is out to kill. And as somebody in the medical profession, I know that you must know some people who have taken. I know some people who have taken the vaccine and all that. Okay, it never reached my tongue, I swear. So, what are you advising us and advising Nigerians, particularly based on some of these pieces of information coming out like this, conspiracies about don't take the vaccine, please.
Well, thank you so very much. I've had so many questions because I see patients every day, and people have expressed their concern about it as well. The internet is good, but it's also in itself also causing loads and loads of problems. Some of the information we get are not verifiable, so it's a bit very difficult to say, and the conspiracy is really causing loads and loads of trouble. I think we have no other alternative of way apart from to take the vaccine. I've had a few friends and people that have taken it. Nobody, to the best of my knowledge, has reported any adverse reaction. All I want to say is that, like we always hammer here, when you are not sincere, it is lack of sincerity from many leadership of different countries' government and sort of causing this. But I would assure people, like I told somebody, if you've lost a loved one from COVID, you will not listen to anybody telling you not to take the vaccine. You wouldn't. So I will take the vaccine when the time comes. Let's just be a bit careful, but please let's do, because that seems to be the only way at the moment now. Coronavirus is real. Yeah, it may not be real in other parts, but it is very real in where I'm living at the moment, and people are also dying. You understand? So my advice will be, when it comes to your turn, please do take it. Like I was saying before, you advised me to talk to them. I want to believe that by the middle of next year, we should at least see a drastic end to this, so that we can get our life back. We'll be able to visit each other and do our things normal. But I cannot emphasize that enough. Please, let's take the vaccine if it comes to our time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Austin.
Yes, so the vaccine is not only my sort of hope for 2021. I also want to say that I would hope that the present government in Nigeria listen to the voice of reasoning and give a ray of hope for us to talk about Nigeria and talk about restructuring. For those states, I expect a massive infrastructural development and growth from our wait and see governor.
From a cognistic prophetic lens. Comrade Lamte.
Yes, sir.
What is your projection, and what are some of the things you are seeing from your own holistic view of the year 2021?
Well, to be very honest, I think that a lot in 2020 was crippled by COVID-19, and now that we have the vaccine out, and if I'm getting it right, I think nearly 1 million persons, or more than 1 million people, have been vaccinated in the UK. More than 2 million vaccinated in the United States, and it's ongoing like that all across. So I am hoping that before the end of the first quarter, coronavirus should be brought under control, so that life can regain some level of normalcy as we used to know before COVID-19 came. Having said that, I want to hope that 2021 will set a proper pace for Nigeria to start getting it right politically as a structure. Restructuring. I hope that we're able to put it in motion. We're able to allow the restructuring to start rolling. We may not achieve it. If we start now, we may not achieve it in another 2 years. We must give that time for us to negotiate everything out, so that before it can be signed into law, as it were. But we need a political restructuring for the country. I will hope that we can set that ball rolling, and I hope that we'll work towards that. And I will hope that all of these committees of insecurity wahala will not lead us into war in 2021, because the trappings of war, they are all over Nigeria right now. Okay, we are having the southeast military formation. We are having the Amotekun Western military formation. We are having the Meiti Allah, that's another military formation covered in the guise of association. Okay, we are having the herdsmen, and of course the not conventional Boko Haram is equally there doing their own, and of course a lot of other insecurity infrastructures across the nation: kidnappings, stealing, armed robbery, ritual killing, deceptive religious people as pastors and imams, and all of that. So a lot of them, they are all plaguing the system. So I'm hoping that these things get corrected. I'm equally hoping Edo State is my centerpiece of policy. I'm hoping that the governor of Edo State, who has made a lot of promise to Edo people, will live by what he has promised. We lead the people by the example that is currently, that he should continue on this trajectory, provide proper governance for the people, and us as individuals. I am hoping. At first, I must, please pardon me. I must, as a matter of importance, appreciate everybody who has keyed into our program, the Comrade Show Light Edo State program. A lot of those have keyed into that program. We have begun the process. We are lighting some streets already, and I want to especially thank somebody. I thought I was going to be saying this next week, but I'm elated to say this. This brother, I don't know him, I don't know them. Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence Usagie. The surname, the family name is Oba Zorame. Mr. Usagie, I think they're in the US. This man just donated 26 street lights, okay, to the Comrade show. This 26 street lights is costing more than ₦1 million. You understand what I'm saying now? More than about 1.2 million naira. Okay? That he just donated. And he has said he wants to light a whole street. Are you following what I'm saying now? This gesture it's wonderful. For me, it's wonderful. Yet another person has donated, I mean 9 lights. I want, a portion of another street to be. So I am optimistic and hopeful that 2021, based on the way things are going, people are already making requests. We want to donate 2, want to donate 3, like that. I am hoping that this project could actually become a project that we are no longer going to just be lighting spots, but we'll be lighting the entire Edo State by the cooperation of Edo people to complement whatever government is doing. And I want to see that at some point we should start going into villages to light up villages across Edo State. We've aimed it as a people. So let us help ourselves to be out of some of those things that we can provide for our own people. So I thank you, Uncle Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence Usagie Obazorane in the US for your effort, for your gesture. May God bless you. And I want to thank God too for those who have signaled their interest in part of this project. Look, Wayawese. I must say that. So in 2021, I am looking to see that the Comrade Show galvanizes that process even further to provide light across every part of Edo State, from Edo North to Edo Central down to Edo South. Let us be light angels to our people. Thank you very much. Those will be, my expectations in 2021. Yes, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Comrade Lante Oriache, for your projections for 2021 and the update you have been giving to Edo people on the Street Light Angel project. I have been following your programs throughout the week and the week before. Thank you for your honesty of purpose, your tenacity, your drive, and we pray that God will continue to grant you the energy for all that you do. God will also bless you, and God, for everyone that have been contributing by one light, 2 light, 3 light, like the comrade have said. Thank you so much. God will continue to replenish all your purse. For me, I look at the year 2021, and as a proud Benin man, we talk in parables and idioms. Though where when you translate, it means that no matter how hard things will always be, laughter will come. Yes, this year has been terrible. It's been a difficult year. I've lost people who are dear to me. And most of us have. But like they say, when there is life, there is hope. They say where there is a will, there must be a way. So we are believing God. We cannot do anything on our own. That the year 2021 will be it will be a brand new start, and we be thanking God all through the year. Let's keep hope alive. For Edo State, I believe that the vacancy governor is ready, is good to go. So it needs our support. Government alone cannot do it all. So we'll keep supporting. So on a final note, Austin, your last word as we wrap up our program. This is the last edition for the year 2020. Just 1 minute, sir.
Thank you so much, Tony. I want to thank all our viewers who have kept faith with us throughout the year. It's been wonderful having a chat and discussing and trying to forge the direction for our country and for Nigeria, as for our country and Edo State. As the year comes to an end, I want to wish us a very, very happy New Year 2021. With 4 days left in everything we do, let's be very, very careful. Let's be mindful. Let's be security conscious. Above all, let's be COVID conscious. Wash your hands, wear your mask, maintain your 2-meter distance. Thank you so much, my viewers, and have a very wonderful 2021.
Yeah, thank you. Hand over to our regular anchor on this show. I want to join Austin to wish all our viewers in all parts of the globe a very, very happy, prosperous New Year 2021. Let us focus on what is ahead of us. Let us face the front despite all we have been through this year. Again, God bless you all. Thank you for watching and being with us today. So, Comrade, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, the Musketeers. That's Dr. Tony Usakmawa Agbons, and of course, pharmacist Austin Iremera. Thanks a lot. And I want to thank Edo people, particularly those who are following us on this program, the Comrade Show. It's been a wonderful program today, and please, if you are not yet following the Comrade Show, or you have not clicked like on the Comrade Show, please do, if you like to. That's one of the ways you show support. But again, I must not fail to acknowledge and thank every light angel so far, and of course the prospective light angels for Edo State. The project is ongoing, and by the grace of God, our commitment and our resolve to ensure that we take this to the very end, okay, is unflinching. And so therefore, I thank those who have been supporting, and I thank those who are yet to support, and I'm hoping that collectively, and for those who are out there who want to partner with the Comrade Show to get this thing, out rapidly, to get it everywhere. Look, it is not a personal thing. It is that we are open to that partnership. You understand? Some people have reached out to us. I'm saying it publicly. We are open to that partnership because at the end of the day, so let all of us come on board. You understand what I'm saying? Let us do this. And there's a lot more that we can do. A lot more. You understand? So at the end of the day, we will all be living through, living to that particular axiom that says Edo must move forward. It's no longer just a project for the government of Edo State alone, but our collective project. And I'm glad that many of us see it that way. For those who don't see it that way, we respect you. Okay? We respect you. We respect your opinions, but my talk right now is for those who see it that way. So thank you very much for joining us. And please, if you watch us on Comrade Show, okay, one of the little things you can do for us is to share. Share the broadcast. Let's not be selfish with it. Let other people see it. Because the whole essence is that we want to get the attention of everybody as much as possible. So whatever we are doing here, everybody can be involved. You understand what I'm saying? This is very important. It's very key. It's part of the whole process. So I thank you all very much for being part of this process with us. May God bless you all. May God bless Edo State. May God bless the governor of Edo State and all Edo people, home and abroad. And of course, I'm not going to leave Nigeria out of it. May God bless Nigeria and Nigerian people. My name is Comrade Lante Oriahi. It has not changed. Whenever it does, I will let you know. Simply put, Momosa, no Oriahi, no ye Lante Riovan. Wayawese. Bye for now.
Comrade Show, Comrade Lante Oriahi, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first